Crazy week. Markets may never go down again. And what did we learn about the DNC? What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, August the 23rd, and what a week we had. My goodness gracious, the markets may never go down again. It's amazing, but of course, they're never going down again until they do. And at some point, they will decide that it's time and the rally is over. But for now, enjoy it. We're long out the gazoo. And what's wrong with that? Let it keep going. In the meantime, we'll talk more about markets in our market segment. But of course, the big news of the week is what? What did the DNC tell us while they were in their major big convention? I don't know. First of all, I didn't watch 2 minutes of it because I wouldn't waste my time. But it was another hate fest, continuing the ever-going saga of hate Trump, no matter what it takes. We don't care. We will shut down the economy and most of America so that we can defeat this guy. We couldn't impeach him. We couldn't get him out. We can make up all the stories we want and create all the hatred. But yet, the man is still the president, and the man will be the president again. Again, it's amazing how this far this country has come to want to vote for a senile guy that can barely put two words together, won't leave the basement. But yet, we absolutely have to have an almost 50-year veteran of Wall Street that gave a speech that told us what he's going to do for us. In the meantime, he was in position for 8 years and didn't do crap. But again, look, obviously, the first thing I care about is you get out and vote. Okay? Vote for whoever you want, but get off your ass and go vote. Okay? I don't want to hear the talk. Go to the voting polls, whoever you are. The bigger the turnout, again, let's see who wins. But in the meantime, vote is more important than who you vote for. Getting out and trying to make a difference. Of course, we know that the DNC is really Bernie Sanders and Ocasio, AOC. Again, if that's what you want, if you want to become Venezuela, okay, and know what Maduro did and everybody did in Venezuela, the richest country in the world at one time, then you'll get exactly what you're asking for. If you continue to fight someone who cares about business, okay? Again, you might not like anything about him, but the one thing he certainly has done is tried to grow America and business. And of course, your 401k is probably look pretty good at the moment, okay? But again, like I'm saying, I care that you vote. Be an American first, which is voting. Okay, don't sit home on your ass on the couch and talk about how bad he is. You don't like him, get off your ass and go vote for him. Go vote against him. I don't care. But in the meantime, make sure you know what you're doing when you do choose to vote, because again, if you want to vote for socialism and you want to vote for total destruction and you want to vote for, cutting down the wanting to be the next richest and capitalism, and the wanting to go for it, the developing of new products that create the next big person with lots of money, then hey, let's shut it all down. We don't have to. Let's just sit home. Okay, let's charge more taxes. Okay, let's make sure we hammer everybody with taxes, especially the rich. That's exactly what we want to do because, of course, not to mention, the rich employ most people, but let's shut them down, right? Listen, hey, like I said. Go vote. You want to vote for anybody you want. It makes no sense to me, but hey, again, I'm just another guy that happens to be a supporter of Donald Trump, and I'm a supporter of, I've always wanted somebody in the office that thought about business first, because I believe that our economy is so bad, it is business first. But of course, why should we care about growing? We can see that the left doesn't care because all the left states are still closed. Putting out the small businesses out of business, whacking everybody, okay? Because they don't care. They just want to win. I mean, there's got to be a reason they want in to the White House so badly, but I can't imagine those reasons are to really benefit you. I mean, if you think about it, what have they done in history, but let alone what have they done the last 4 years? Absolutely nothing. So again, vote, that's what we care about. But again, I look at things and I go, not for me. Now, again, no matter who wins, my life won't change a lot because, again, I'm old. I'll never be around to see the mass destruction that could potentially be coming. But if you want to start erasing history and start doing everything that you're hearing, that's just dumb. I mean, again, you want to have a great repeat? Just go back and look at history when they tried to stymie the past and what's happened. But certainly, we can only see that what a wonderful project universal income, socialism, and all those things bring to all of us. Just, it's so good that how could we not want more free money? But hey, as I said, look, we've got Wells Fargo in trouble now. Of course, their home base is in California, which is basically still shut down. And of course, they're getting torched by fires. On top of everything else, not only are they idiotic in the whole way they do business there, but yet now they got fires to contend with. So I feel bad for people. I hope nobody gets injured out there. I mean, obviously, it's a traumatic event, ripping the country, that state apart with fires. And of course, it's scary. And you lose your home, you lose possession. I mean, it's not good, obviously. And tie that in with people not working because, of course, they will not open that country. That's like a country. They won't open that state. So, hey, look, I wish them well for the fires. I hope them good health. But from a government standpoint, dumb. I mean, again, keep it shut. Keep putting them out of business. Keep the small business going away. Even though you say you're for small business, keep putting them out of business. That's exactly what you want to do. And of course, big tech and their monopolies. Now again, look, they're building and building and building. And you want to break them up again and have it recreated backwards. I mean, again, as long as there's not price fixing, as long as the big companies are giving fair value, does it really matter? I mean, competition is to make equal pricing so that you cannot be held up by price fixing, okay? Which has been tried many times in the past when they weren't monopolies. Again, I'm not saying I'm a fan of huge monopolies, but again, I'm also not against it as long as everything is fair, okay? As long as pricing is fair, and once you've made the monopoly and you have control of the market, you still deliver cost of goods and a fair price, and you pay a fair wage. That's all that I care about. I think so far I haven't seen anything that changes that. Okay, if that changes, and I think that something needs to be done, but until then, they keep employing people and they're paying good wages. Why would I want to get in the way? Okay, again, this vote by mail. Look, I think it's a disaster. Forget about that Donald Trump said. I would have said that before because I think the post office has been a disaster for probably 50 years. Okay. And certainly at this point in time, there's virtually no need for a post office because now there's places to go if you need to do something overnight. And the only reason you would ever go to a post office or a UPS store or a FedEx store is because you need to get something overnighted that has to be done. Okay, most of our stuff, most of our bills get paid through mail, most of our email or direct deposit, whatever. Most of us are using some sort of app to pay bills. So there's absolutely no reason for the post office anymore. Okay, and besides the fact that they're so overdone and have so much overwhelming expense to operate because there's too many of them. I mean, just in my area alone, and I'm in a rural area, there's 5 post offices within a 5-minute drive in any direction for me. What do I need it for? There's way too many. There's no need for that many. Too much rent. Too much cost. Too much employment. Now, I'm not saying we should start firing postal employees, but I think they should stop hiring. And as people retire, let them retire and not replace them. But again, we know the government system and how they work. They just keep hiring and hiring and hiring because they don't care because they'll try to print some more money. But look, these delinquencies in homes and in mortgages and in Other types of loans is getting very serious. But again, until we're able to open the country, until we're able to operate fully, and we won't get that until the election is over. And if the left wins, then we won't get it for a long time. If Trump wins again, then we'll get it going right away, because the stuff will go away, because once the election is over, there's nothing to fight over, because you can't stop anything anymore. So right now, this is the whole situation, what we're seeing right now, is strictly driven by the politics and the left that wants to get the White House back. Okay, it's really quite that simple. It's not fair, it's not funny, but it's that simple. Okay, but I think that those who are buying gold because they think it's a great hedge against their portfolios, wrong reason to buy gold, and I don't think it's a good time to buy anyways right now. We're actually short, but I do think we're probably going lower. But again, if you're going to invest and you have the money and you're not afraid to lose what you invest, a portion of, I would buy it anytime. I don't ever care. I bought some this week, some physical gold. Okay. The bridge loan, so to speak, which the big money, the big package that went out one, now they want to send out another package. You got to remember who's going to eventually pay for all those stimulus packages. We don't magically pay for those. And the way that it's being handled by the left right now, and again, this is not a political issue, but it is a political issue, because the way it's being handled, without working, you can't pay back anyway. So you're printing and giving away, and there is no velocity of money, there's no churn, there's no economy to spend it into, so you can't try to grow that debt away. That debt just compounds and gets bigger and bigger, and which is why we have so many delinquencies. Look, it's a very simple product to understand. Okay, if you're not paying and you can't earn to pay, you're going to have problems, because at some point, somehow those loans have got to be paid back. When you're giving bonds at ridiculous rates, they're going to keep going down. But at some point, rates are going to turn around and rates are going to go much higher. Okay, now much higher from today, much higher from zero is not a lot. But again, eventually they will go higher, because again, the government and the Fed cannot manipulate forever. At some point, the natural demand for money, and there's a monster demand for money because it's so cheap. But at some point, they're going to raise them, because again, why should they sit there when they can lend? And of course, with some of the new laws and rules, because of this whole thing going on where they've taken off the restriction off the banks, I mean, they're just creating more money as well at the same time. And they don't have any real exposure. It's a risk. So it's going to be an ugly mess. Again, I don't know when it's going to happen, but it just, again, we'll know it'll be ugly. Okay. And, of course, we've got the inevitable collapse. Again, we don't predict market collapses. We don't predict anything. We're trading basically day by day. All of our trading, as you know, is done through an algorithm. Okay. And for that portion, it's usually longer term trades. Like, for example, we're long Apple since April. And of course, we've made obviously a fortune. We're long NVIDIA since March. So again, but basically we run the signals day to day, every day. And, hopefully there's no changes, because we're with the overwhelming trend. And at some point that will change and we'll get to the other side. But now, again, why would I want to tell the market's over? But they will definitely 100% will collapse at some point. But at some point is the unknown. So we know it's a bubble. We know we have a problem. But until it becomes a real problem, it's going to go higher. And that's the way you have to look at it. Markets will go up until they don't. So don't try to outguess it. Don't try to outsmart it. Just remember that they're going to keep going. And we just did a hedging webinar yesterday. If you'd like to see a copy of that hedging webinar, I encourage you to look. Again, you want to sign up, great. If you don't, great. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you. I would never force you to sign up. It's the best product in the industry, and it will protect you throughout everything and help you compound your portfolio. If you want to take a look at the recording, email me at bub@bubbatrade.com. If not, no big deal. No harm, no foul. We're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with our market segment after the break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, August the 23rd. Well, kids, what's up? And of course, man, what a crazy week, right? But of course, we're prepared for all of it, and we've got all the goods we need. And of course, our partnership with family farms. I'm really looking forward to it. Again, we have to get the economy open so we can do some things together and actually meet in person and meet with farmers and meet with people, and of course, do the things that are necessary to actually communicate with everybody. Of course, but we do talk all the time. And again, really a great operation, and they've got everything great going for you. And look, we're going to get you a lot of information and do some webinars with them. So we'll keep you posted. But again, really happy about the family farms arrangement. And of course, don't forget about our brokerage partners. I mean, again, they do a phenomenal job, both of them. And again, full disclosure, I have other accounts elsewhere as well. But my preference for myself and for my members is CTG for futures and equities. I mean, futures and commodities. Because again, they're the only one authorized to do our letter of direction trading. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, they've got great service. You got a problem, you call, and they understand what we're doing. So new members who have some questions about entering and doing that stuff, CTG helps them all the time. So it's a great marriage, and of course, they got some great new products that we're going to actually introduce with them coming up soon. And we'll do a webinar, and you'll be invited if you want to come. And of course, our trader. I mean, again. The easy default is it's $10 a month. Okay, how can I not want to pay $10 a month flat? Why do I want to pay 65 cents a contract, even though it's supposed to be free? So again, Tradier is outstanding. And again, even when they're busy, even when it's busy in the markets, they answer the phone. You don't go to a hold. You don't have to wait to find out. You call them up and they take the phone. They take your calls and they'll answer your questions. They're very helpful over there. That's Tradier Brokerage. You want information on either one? You want a special link for them? I got them both. Just email me at bub@bubbatrading.com. And of course, our commodity report, Andy Hecht, what a job he does with the commodity report. It is as detailed as you want. It goes through fundamental and technical reasons of why. He uses ETFs to go along with it. And of course, we're going to start to tie some of the things into it to make it even better. But right now, it is outstanding. And it's one of the best reports I've ever read and seen, because you're getting it from a guy that does it, that does trade it. You're getting the guy that's dealt in the physical commodity world all the time, worldwide, and has lived in many different ports, plus travel to places that you and I would want to go. So again, it's called Technimental. You can go to bubbatrading.com and check it out. But again, if you want to know about fundamentals and you want to be involved in the commodities and futures with some more detail and use them, there's nothing better than Technimental. And don't forget about our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and our market report with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz. Welcome back, everybody. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, August the 23rd. And of course, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. And, again, markets are crazy. They keep going up. They don't want to go down. Okay. And there's many out there that continue to try to predict the top. Again, that's a fool's game. Do not try to outguess, outsmart, or outthink the market. That's all I can say to you. I tell you this all the time. Look, bottom line is the markets are going to go up until they don't. But we're playing the trend. Our algorithm is playing the trend. So why would I want to try to go against the trend, especially in markets that have no volume and no real liquidity? Because the natural order of the world is all markets drift higher. It's really that simple. So why would I want to be against that? Why would I want to fight it as volatility continues to shrink? Now we know there's going to be a massive move, and we know that we're going to take some heat on our positions when it does reverse, but we will get to the right side and then we'll ride it the other way. So again, it's not a big deal. I already know what's going to happen. I know the end game, but I'm not concerned because again, we will trend the other way at some point and it will be big and we will make a fortune on going that way. So again, for now, we're long all the equities, okay? And, keep making new highs except for the Russell. But again, look, at some point, if the Russell keeps going down, it's going to change. We'll be short one and long three. It doesn't matter. Whatever the signal is, it will be, and I will be in it the way it's supposed to be done. In the meantime, again, for my money, it's going up. Why should I get in the way? Okay? Crude oil, which I hate. I hate being long it, and I'm still long it. We're still long it. Listen, it keeps going up. That also is up too. I mean, it hasn't had a real big break. First of all, it hasn't had a wide range for quite a while. Second of all, it has not had a big break for a long time. Now, again, it's going to break at some point. But again, why should I try to stop it now? It's not logical, right? I mean, think about it. I urge you to think about anything before you do it and make sure why you're doing something. If you're not going to use the algorithm, which is fine. I don't care. I just want you to understand why and what you're doing. And if you're trying to outguess the market and decide that it's going to break down, you're being foolish. You might be right, but if you're right, you probably won't be right good enough, number one. And if you're wrong, you could go broke before it happens, and you're giving up opportunities because you're trying to fight the obvious way the markets are going right now. So until that changes, why would you fight it? So that goes with crude. And of course, we just reversed this week in gold. Gold was, we had a huge profit in gold and obviously gave back some of it on the 100-point down day. But again, we reversed. We're short gold. We're short silver. Still long platinum though. And again, platinum will change at some point if it starts to go down a little bit, or the reversal in the metal in gold and silver could be wrong. We could reverse back the other way. Again, just because we reverse doesn't mean it's going to for sure. But right now, price action suggests that it's still going lower. And it almost came all the way back early in the week, had a big rally, but it failed and then it fell apart. So that's what we're watching. But again, we're watching what the algorithm is telling us to watch, basically. I mean, right now, the algorithms are short. We're short. Bonds, been pretty choppy, but they were up against the week. We're short bonds now, which is the side I prefer to be on. I mean, I prefer to be right and make money. That's number one. But number two, if I have my choice, I'm going to make money on my choice. That's the side I'd like to be on. But either way, I was long for a long time. We made a lot of money on the upside. And now we'll see what happens. Again, they could reverse back. Again, just because we rotated and switched does not mean they'll stay. It doesn't mean we won't be wrong. I mean, there's trades we're wrong on. We do have drawdowns, as I tell you all the time. But for now, bonds and notes are short, and we're short them, and I'm very comfortable with that. The dollar continues to be under pressure. Now, I had a little bit of a late rally at the end of the week. Look, I think it's a dead cat bounce. We're short it, but I think the key to watch is 94. Okay, if you can get back through 94 cents on the way up, it may break out and go to the upside. But it should fail. That's a top end. So either it fails here, and this is just, again, continuation to the down, and we go down to 90, or it has a chance to break out and we'll have to reverse, which, again, it's fine. It doesn't bother me either way. Okay, natural gas has been pretty choppy, but working higher. Again, natural gas is obviously very interesting. There's really not a lot going on, but typically what happens, and I hope we're along it, and as it gets cooler, obviously still summer, not such a big deal, but when we start getting those first cold snaps, you see some funky things happen in natural gas. Okay, so again, I always prefer being long that in like the fourth quarter when you get a sudden cold snap. But we'll see. Again, I'll be what the position tells me to be. And copper, we just reversed in copper, and it looked like it was going to the moon, and now it looks like it's going to the basement. Okay, again, I really think that copper is going lower, but again, I'd prefer not to be long it right now. Okay, I prefer to still be short it. But again, that's not the point. The point is that it doesn't look great to begin with, but again, it had a nice rally and it was able to fight through and trigger a new trend. Now again, if it'll last, hey, good, I'll be happy and we'll make money. But again, it looks a little bit weak right here from the eye. And again, based on the economy, because that is Dr. Copper. So we'll see. In the meantime, we're short copper right now and getting a little bit of the rod right now. So, hey, it is what it is. We're getting the welder's pipe right where it don't belong. But look, what'll be will be. And again, we'll be happy to change if and when that changes. Okay. Now, the grain markets, we finally are long. Starting today, tomorrow, tonight, Sunday night, we're going to reverse wheat and be long. We're finally going to be long all the grains. I obviously wanted to be long all along. As I said, I wouldn't fight the algorithm, but this is, again, whether we go up or down, whether it be these are winning trades right now or not, I prefer to be long grains here. Again, to me, prices are such a joke and low. I would rather be long. I'd rather take my chances from the long side, because I do believe there's a big market brewing somewhere. Okay, now, I may be wrong, and I'll take my losses, move on if I have to. But I always prefer at certain price levels to be either long the grains, okay, down here. When they get too expensive in my mind, when they get way up there, I always like to be short them. I mean, again, to me, I understand how markets work in general, so I know that they're not going too far away. So again, at these levels, I would love to sock them in my bank account and just forget about them. But again, I'm going to play the algorithm as I'm supposed to. And the meats, we're long across the board too. Now, they've acted actually last week, if you're looking at, they weren't very good. Well, actually, if you look at them from a technical standpoint, they did very good work. They did some great work relieving some of the overbought conditions. They are now poised again to make another big run to the upside. Okay, now they could break. Look, again, there's no guarantee, but we're long, and the charts are setting up to be long. So I say to you, why would I want to fight that? I have no reason to want to fight that action. Okay. So again, I always warn you that, again, there may be a reason. And again, I don't have a reason because I'm not going to fight against the algorithm. I see what it's doing. But again, these charts happen to look great. And if I was recommending, I'd be recommending long. So it's kind of a double, correlation for me. I'm good. I'm good to go with that. So I'm happy to do those things. But really, I just want you to, again, look, my number one concern is always, I love when my members make money. That's really what it's about. So I want you to continue to make money. I hope you do. I want you to be careful. I don't want you to put yourself in any danger in these dull, illiquid markets. So just be very careful and do yourself a favor. And again, if you're getting itchy to do something crazy, take a deep breath and step away before you do anything. Okay? That's all. Meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz will be back after the break with my commentary. As always, I thank you. Bubba's Bottom Line. We'll step out here and be right back. All right, kids. Well, look, I want to remind you, we got great brokerage partners. I always tell you, I've got brokerage accounts other places. Okay, but again, a lot of direction trading for our futures and commodities. CTG, nothing like them. Okay, great service, great people. They're really good to me. They do all my stuff for me personally. They do all my letter direction trading because I have 7 portfolios. I do 6 of them. I let them deal with. Okay, so again, it's just a nice, easy, smooth way. I don't have to think about it. I know they're going to execute every morning, and boom, if there's a trade, they take care of it. But again, when people call them, have questions, they answer the phone. There's no voicemails. There's no chasing them. They get in early, they stay late, and there's always somebody there that will help you with a question. So to me, for my money, it's the best. And they've got some new stuff coming out, which I'm going to help them introduce. And of course, for equities and options, I mean, Tradier, I mean, it's $10 a month. Again, I have to go back to $10 a month. It's just too easy, right? I mean, why would I want to pay more to do the same thing? I don't know. I mean, that's up to you. But again, Tradier, they got great service, great pricing. They got some great platform. They got everything. They got whatever you want. So again, you do as you wish. It's your money. You use whoever you prefer to use. I'm just giving you 2 great alternatives. And certainly, if you want to check them out, great. Just send me an email at bub@bubbatrading.com. I'll send you a link. And if not, hey, no worries. Again, you'll never get pressure from me. I will always give you our positions and where we stand. I will never pressure you into do anything. I'm not interested in that. And of course, our commodity report, there's nothing like this. And Andy's on Fuego right now. He's the number 1 writer for Seeking Alpha. He's been in the business for 40 years. He's a top-notch guy. He's just like me, straight up, doesn't want to fool anybody, doesn't want to create anything. In fact, we're doing a couple things together, and I tell you, it's a pleasure to deal with him. You want to check it out? It's called Technomental. Go to bubbatrading.com. You can check it out. And if you want a webinar I just did yesterday on hedging, you can email me at bub@bubbatrading.com. I'll be happy to send it to you. Again, if you don't want it, you don't. Again, it's up to you. I'm not interested. If you don't want it, no big deal. In the meantime, again, we're going to come back to the show. Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and we're going to give you my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horowitz. Of course, every week I give you some commentary of what I'm thinking about. And, the real thing I'm thinking about is I'm very disturbed by what's going on with the closures. I'm very disturbed by the lack of the ability to open businesses. I really believe, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I hear what I hear from different sources. And of course, the whole disease, and again, it may be very dangerous. I don't know, but it may be very dangerous. But I can see that the whole thing is strictly on a political divide as to what's going on. I mean, I could actually go to 2 doctors that are in my family, that are related, that are brothers, okay? And there are one's left, one's right. The one who's on the left is, this is a catastrophe. And the one who's on the right says no big deal and is taking hydrochloroquine. Again, it strictly splits on political lines, which I think is ridiculous. But the biggest sadness I feel is for the small American business, especially the restaurant business, which is a tough business when conditions are perfect. But you keep them shut down, you are destroying families for generations that have worked their lives to save and build and save and finally get to open their restaurant, and you're just shutting them down for politics. Okay? People don't have to go out if they don't want to go. People don't have to do anything if they don't want to go. So why are we keeping everything closed when America is the home of freedom, right? USA, the home of freedom. And we should be free to do as we want within the law. And if you feel that you're concerned about COVID, if you're concerned about catching, if you're at high risk, then you should not be out. But if you're of young and of no risk, you should be in school because you're destroying children for no reason. And you should be doing whatever you want to do. I mean, you want to make people wear masks? I got no problem. I went to Vegas, wore a mask, wherever they said. I didn't argue. I'm good with wearing a mask. I got no problem. But again, people should have the right to do as they wish, as long as they follow the guidelines of what is. But if people are worried that they're at risk, they don't have to go out. They don't have to go places. But the people that care and are not concerned should be able to do as they wish. But so instead of letting people be Americans and free, you are controlling what they do, where they can go, what they can do, and you're forcing every small business that cannot operate in this, because many cannot, out of business. And to me, that's an American tragedy. Have a great weekend, everybody. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. As always, I appreciate you being here. We'll see you tomorrow with a Bubba's Daily Update. And again, markets continue to go up. Why fight it? Have a great weekend. Be healthy. And again, we'll see you on Monday with Bubba's Daily Update. And I wish you a great weekend, everybody, and good health. And if you're going on vacation, because that's the time of year, have a great time. We'll see you around. Take care, everybody. Bubba's Bottom Line.